Hello friends, and welcome to the online lecture series of CNC machines and automation. We have been discussing about the system devices. In the series of that, we are going to discuss the major important system devices which are making the CNC automated. The first one is the linear variable differential transformer. We'll discuss its working. It is simply called LVDT. This you can easily understood this when you are going to any shopping mall or complex that you are having the one metal detector at the entrance. So how that work, it is purely depending upon the LVDT, linear variable differential transformer. Then we'll discuss about the tachometer. Tachometer is a very well known device which are used to measure the RPM of any rotating wheel. This is used in the CNC machine to measure the RPM of your spindle. Correct. So firstly, we are going to discuss about the LVDT. So before discussing the LVDT, there are some important terms which you need to be uh, known so that you can easily understood the working of LVDT. So it's a variable differential transformer. Correct. For that thing, you need to know firstly the inductor. So what inductor is? An inductor is a coil which is passive terminal electrical component that stores energy in the magnetic field. You might have seen this kind of thing here. So you have seen in this case here, this is your wire which is carrying the current here, and when the current is passes through any conductor, it has the magnetic flux associated with it. This is your inductor. Simply it is an inductor. Here in the market you can see this kind of inductors are available. This is simply your inductor. This one terminal is these two terminals are connected to the electricity supply. When the current is passes through it, it generates the magnetic flux. The magnetic field is generated. So these type of inductors are used in the market. So what is inductor benefit? The inductor benefit is this: when a current generated in the conductor by a changing magnetic field is proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. Here, so see in this case, there's a inductor. Firstly, initially there's a one inductor. Clear, the current is passes through it and it generates the magnetic field. When a second conductor is came very near to this inductor, clear, so it itself generates the electricity. So when it generates the electricity, it is sending to, it can be measured. Clear. So this effect is used inside the LVDT. Correct. How we are using it, we are discussing this in this case. So what inductive transducer is doing, it is to convert the displacement into change in inductance of inductor or coil. Clear. So whenever a moving particle is came near to the inductor, any metal is coming near to the inductor and it changes its inductance. So when it changes in inductance, so we'll get the signal from it, we'll get the pulse from it. Check this out. So simply this outside, these three things you can see here is the inductor. Clear. So whenever a metal is passed through it, whenever this is not carrying any kind of current, clear, but if it is passing through it, it will change, it will misshapen its magnetic flux, and due to that magnetic flux the current is generated. So current is changed, the EMF is changed, and it can be sensed. Similarly, whenever you are carrying any kind of metal in your pocket and you are passing through the metal detector, so in the metal detector, so the metal detector is has its own EMF generated or the magnetic flux associated with it. When you pass through it, you are carrying a conductor, you are carrying a metal. When you pass through the metal detector, then the flux associated with the metal detector changes and then the buzzer gets off. That means you are carrying some metal thing with you. So this is how it works. Here, but what a linear differential transformer do is a variable inductance transducer which is used for the measurement of linear displacement. So see, this is a ferrite core. There are two kind of winding, the primary and the secondary. Primary winding is carrying the current. Only primary winding is carrying the current. Secondary windings does not carry the current. But when the current is in the primary wiring, primary wire, correct, then it will be generating the current in the secondary on both sides. Clear? It is generating the current because it is a property of your inductor that as we discussed. So when it is passing through the current to it, it is having a magnetic flux. Due to magnetic flux, the secondary coil is also generating the EMF into it. So whenever a conductor, any metal core, or ferrite means iron, any iron core is passes through this one, then the flux associated with secondary coils gets changed. When this gets changed, the LVDT senses, okay, this much displacement has been made. Here, this much distance has been covered. So it converts linear motion into electrical signal. Correct, as you can see in here. This is very informative. See, when the iron core is moving from the primary, this center one is the primary, this is your secondary. When the core is moving to the secondary, the EMF generating is changed over here. Clear? When it is changed, it gets the signal, and this signal is associated with your displacement. So it measures the displacement, or it can sense that any kind of metal you are carrying within into you. Clear? So that is simply the basic working of the LVDT. Correct. For the simplification, you can see your core is, whenever your core is moving inside your inductor, clear, this, when the core is near to the S1, it is having maximum left, so correct EMF generated, this is changed over here and this becomes 0. But when the core is on to the right, then all the EMF will be generated at S2, secondary winding 2. Correct. It will be here maximum. When it is in the center, it will be null, means equal in both the secondary windings. S1 and S2, it is equal. But it is on the left, S1 is more. When it is on the right, S2 is more. Clear? So, and because of this, it will gets the EMF. When the EMF is there, you will get the pulses from it, and you will sense it that my displacement has been made. Correct? So what is the application? It measures your force, pressure, temperature, and it measures the displacement within a range of 1.25 mm to 250 mm. It's a limit. Correct? And we do not go beyond that. We cannot measure it through the LVDT. So it is used to measure the thickness also, that how much your magnetic flux can intricate inside the your material, that is to measure the thickness. Then it is used for the level detector in the, even you can use them to your tank at your home. Then when the level is reached, it will give you the buzzer. Then what is the advantages? It can withstand the high degrees of shocks and vibration. The power consumption is very less. It provides good linearity, means linear relationship between input and output. It means whenever the input is changing, the output is changing respectively, linearly, not exponentially. Correct? Not logarithmically. It is simply the linear relation. As the input changes, output changes similarly. Fine. Then the friction losses are negligible because there is no touching. It's in no contact. Sensor need not to have any contact with that. It can sense it. Then we are having no amplifier is required. The EMF difference, the EMF generated can easily be sensed. So no amplifier is required in this case. LVDT has a good resolution. All the properties that we discussed in the sensor, that is telling about this a good resolution and high sensitivity. If you don't know that what is the resolution and sensitivity, must go to the sensor video and check it out. I have discussed that thoroughly in that case. Then what are the disadvantages? Performance is affected by the temperature, because your conductor, when the temperature is high, your conductor loses its conductivity. That is the disadvantage of the conductor. When the temperature is high, it loses its conductivity. So when the conductivity is lost, then LVDT has some, means its efficiency would get decreased. Clear? It's a limited dynamic response, means if it is too fast, if the movement is too fast, it cannot sense. Clear? It requires some time. Clear? It requires some time, so that if moving is slowly, if you are moving slowly inside this core, then it can sense. Otherwise, if it is a fast movement, it cannot sense it. Okay. Then the next is tachometer. You might have seen this thing in your bike also. When the RPM in high profile bikes like Pulsar 150, 180, 220. So there is a RPM calculator, RPM meter also, in which you can see in this case it's 1000. R stands for RPM per minute. So tachometer is just measuring your RPMs. Clear? We have already know this kind of your device which is used in the workshops and labs. Then it is a contact type and non-contact type. We are having nowadays two types of contact type and non-contact type. There is a mechanical and electrical type. So contact types are very older ones. Correct, very older ones, that we are using the worm and worm wheels when we do not have any kind of digital type of meters to measure this one. Yeah, but nowadays, yes, this kind of contact type, mechanical type, but digital tachometers are used in this case. You just push this button, push this and drop into the spinning or rotating shaft, then you can measure the RPMs directly here. Just read it now. Otherwise, you need to calculate it. Fine. In case of your mechanical, it's an older one. Then we are having this working. This working is very simple. That you just insert this kind of knob inside the shaft, and this is your north and south pole. This is actually telling about the digital tachometer, that how digitally it can measuring, it can telling you the RPMs. So this is your south and north pole, means if it is rotating, the current is generated. When the current is generated, your resistance will tell you that, your voltage will tell you, actually your voltage will tell you that how much RPM it is rotating. It is all calibrated, but it is working is, this is a north and south pole, permanent magnets are there. When it's rotating, the current is generated, and this can be sensed in this circuit, and you can get to know what is the RPM of the tachometer. There's a non-contact type. You just have this kind of a reflective mark on a shaft, and there's a laser, continuous laser beam is going on to this, and how many times it is touching, it is crossing this laser, and due to that you can easily sense what is the RPM of this rotating shaft. So reflective mark is just to have, when it reflects the light, it is sensed over here, and then it says 1 RPM is completed, and number of time it is crossing this one, so you can easily get to know that this much RPM in a minute. So this is the difference between contact type and non-contact type. So this is all for today's lecture. If you wanted to see my other videos, must subscribe this channel, Tiny Steps. So take care and thank you.